It is I, Xisuma, reporting in to play Jevin's Easter egg hunt game. Yes, that's right, it's time to play the game. So welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I imagine that we will both place and look for eggs in this episode. The first part of this is for us to take our silly looking Xisuma eggs here. And they are very, very silly looking. They're actually really cute, I like them. And so I have a couple of days now to visit all of these bases on the server and hide these Easter eggs. And there are some rules. We can hide eggs inside and outside of bases, but we cannot break blocks to hide the eggs. So we shall now go on our merry way. Why can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. This is very dad joke vibes, and you know what? I approve completely. So I feel like it's extremely likely that I might stumble into someone else's eggs while at another hermit's base, but that doesn't really matter, right? Because we're not looking for other people's eggs. And over here, I reckon Scar will end up looking all over his tree, and hopefully we can find a spot he might not look at. I feel like I might have just found a sufficiently tucked away spot. Aha, I can just about reach that. I think I'm actually going to move this, just put it back there. And now let's jump up and put the carved pumpkin in. Ah, there we go. And we're also supposed to make the item frame invisible as well. So I reckon that's going to be a hard spot right there. Oh, and I will confer with Jevin on this. I think the whole breaking and placing of blocks rules is so that you don't hide them behind walls and in nooks and crannies. I think pillaring up to place an egg is okay. And yes, it turns out I got that just right. So over here at Crafty's, I've pillared up onto the top of this. I think we're going to hide one somewhere in here. So I place this directly on top of the campfire, and if I run the trigger, I have to get inside of this area. This is how you make it invisible, by the way. You run this command when looking at the item frame. I think you have to be really close to it. Yeah, I have to set myself on fire. So I'm in the basement of Gemini Tay's base. This might be a good way to hide if there were more of those aesthetically on the ground. I'll have to look out for that. But in this area, if I just hop on top of these furnaces, I mean, is she going to look like right the way around here? So there we go. There's another one placed down on the ground. I haven't actually seen anyone else's yet, so I've got a feeling other hermits might be finding really good spots. My plan is just to play it super casual, have some fun, pick a spot, don't take forever on it. So here in Pearl's base, it's got me thinking that I can put an item frame behind the chest. I can put this item into it, right? Yep, and then I can make it invisible. That, my friends, that will be a really tough one to find. Like, literally got to look into that tiny gap. So I was going to be Mr. Casual, but we'll also be on the lookout for some tricky hides like that one. And I've just learned that the one that I put in Corralis's base doesn't count because Corralis isn't playing the game. I always find fantastic ways to derp right. And I've just realised something else as well. The other thing is that Gem isn't playing either, so we're off to a wonderful start here. It's a good thing that I'm using this book now, right? We can see impulses here, and how's this for a hiding spot? If I open the trapdoor and wallop that down there, again, I'm not going to overthink this, let's go with that one. Although that being said, it might be even more difficult to spot if I just put it up the top. Nearby, Cleo is playing, and I believe this might just be the entrance to her base. That's fantastic looking. Yeah, I've not seen a lot of what the other hermits are up to this season, but this appears to be it, and it's very cool. So I come round the back, and I've spotted one of Doc's over here. And there's another interesting gap here. Let's drop in. Oh, look. That's someone's there, isn't it? Okay. Once upon a time, before the Elytra, there was a time when you would always keep ender pearls in your hotbar. So is anywhere in here any good? Yeah, look, another one. Found another one. So I can't break or place blocks right, but I can ender pearl into tight spaces like this. So I'm going to put my one down the bottom here. So here in B-Dubs' Tower of Right, I think I've spotted someone's face there. But how about we head out the back, use an ender pearl again. Oh, don't get knocked off by an endermite. Okay, I'm going to drop one down right here. And from a distance, unless you know exactly where to look, it doesn't really pop out either, so probably a pretty good spot to hide it. So for Joe Hills' base, I decided to hide it in plain sight. You can actually see it right now, but you might just not look in the right place because it's down here in the water where it blends in a little. So here is Jevin's base, and around the back he has a beehive area. I'm just wondering, can I come to the back of this space, flick open this, and place it on the back of that trapdoor. No. But I can get down here and put one on the underside of the beehive. Ooh, it might actually end up being quite visible. Or maybe not, there's a lot of particles in there. I think that's a great hiding spot. So False has a fantastic, remarkable base, and I feel like I've found possibly the dullest room in the whole place. But again, the ender pearls, if we go to this side here and just plop the thing on the back, it's probably going to be a hard spot. If you get in close, if you jump up and down, you might just spot it. So for the doctor's place, there are probably many interesting spots to hide something, but this is part of his base too, where he's done some building, so I'm thinking we could plop it in here. And honestly, that's probably not the best, but at the same time, you'd have to come down here pretty close for it to catch your eye. Gotta watch out for that creeper. And what is with these creepers in boats? There's 4 of them over here. That is quite something. So I am currently in Wells Nice base, where there isn't really a lot of spaces to hide an egg. If you stand right up on here on the edge, you can see it. If he were to just wander up here and have a look around, he might not think that you can actually hide one there. So hopefully we'll get away with that. So I'm now in Carrot Hills, which is Iskal's spot. There are a lot of like nooks and crannies like this where you might think to hide one, but I think I've just found the perfect spot. It's inside of this space, you see, because I could just drop down here and see where this goes. This is part of his base, right? Yeah, you see that dirt block right there? I'm going to click on it. I'm going to put this thing right inside of it. Then I'm going to trigger that. And even the villagers are helping to hide it. So Iskal's neighbor Hypno has quite a plain base, and some of the hermits were joking about putting the eggs out in plain sight. And I was thinking about the usual tricks, you know, opening the trapdoors, but someone's beaten me to it over here. But down below, I think I found an amazing spot, right? Look at this and how much texture there is there. Actually, it might not be possible. Let's break that. This is illegal now, obviously. And then put the rosebush back. I'm just going to say it, that might have been an amazing hide, especially if this thing was sort of more centered on top of it. And the hitbox of the sugarcane is slightly different. Is it going to let me? No, it's not going to let me, is it? Oh, I'm in a Hypno's attic now, and I think I found the spot. It placed it, didn't it? It certainly did. There you go. It's actually probably pretty obvious. So I'm just perusing around Beef's spot, and I'm thinking, well, this is clearly part of the base, and we could swim down here, but there's actually a couple of other hermits that have hidden their heads in this spot. So, twice in a row, why don't we try this trick again? It's going to be slightly different this time. Oh, someone had actually already picked that spot. Wow, okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll put this near where I originally wanted to put them, which is actually underneath one of these sheep, right? Because that'll probably hide it pretty well. But since we can't break blocks, I think I'm just going to whack it right here. Yeah, I mean, if you're just walking by, it might pop out. And if you jump up on top, the same might happen again, but I don't know if he's going to be looking over here. So Grian's next, and I had a look all around his, well, 2 parts of the base, and that right there, that item frame, that's where I'm going to drop this thing off. And I think this one's probably going to end up being a bit more on the obvious side. So let's not do that, shall we? This counts as Grian's base, I believe. And the problem with this spot is, once you're drawn to that one, you're probably quite likely going to find my one too, right? So I'm back at Good Times with Scar's tree, and it turns out that Cubfan actually lives in Scar's basement now. So yeah, this spot right here is owned by Cub, so I gotta hide one of these eggs, and I think I've got the perfect spot. So when the cactus grows, it actually slides down the honey over here, which is a really cool way to deliver it to another spot. So the water stream isn't actually up the top here. So if I want to get into this area, right, maybe, just maybe, aha! That's really good. I was going to hide it down here, but I could just go and hide it around the back here somewhere. My friends, I'm having too much fun with this. Jevin, you have made a wonderful game. Oh! Cubfan just logged in. I need to immediately be somewhere else. Oh no, he's going to see where I am. Should I log out? Oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Hi.
Hello, Xisuma. How's it going?
Um, I'm stuck in your cactus farm.
Stuck in the cactus farm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm holding an Easter egg.
Were you trying to hide the Easter egg somewhere and then somehow got into the farm?
I went into the farm deliberately. Thank you. Thank you. So
Oh, okay.
come
Okay.
rate
Can you
this
make
one.
that?
Okay. You're gonna get a freebie
Okay.
here. You're gonna suss out it's in the room. Have a look at the back here.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh. Oh, yep. Yep. I see
Yeah.
one there. Yeah.
All right. Just remember that for later. That's a free one on me.
Will do.
But how good of a hiding spot is that?
That's really good. That's really good on the back side here. Also,
Yeah.
it blends in with the color too, so you got that going for you.
Oh yeah. So I
Yeah,
reckon
by the
from
way,
out the front here, you wouldn't have spotted that. No
Probably
way.
not. Yeah. Probably not. Yeah.
Oh, but you
I
logged
don't
in.
think I would have. What happened to your head? You got an egg on your head.
I know, right? I wanted to get in the Easter spirit, but I didn't specify Easter eggs. I just asked my community, hey, make me an egg skin, and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's
That makes
actually
sense.
eggs.
That makes sense. Do you have any more eggs to hide? Are you still in the process of hiding
I've
that?
got 3 left, and I've put in some in pretty tricky places. Like as you've seen, I've been jumping into people's farms and hiding them.
Yeah.
So
Clever.
yeah.
Clever. Yeah. Good luck with the rest of them. You might find. I know I found a few other eggs.
Yes,
While I was
I
looking
saw
for
other
places to
people's
hide.
along the way. It's
Yeah, that's
cool
always
because
fun.
it doesn't really like break the game or anything, right? You can see where other people are putting them, and then when it comes to your own base later on, then you can go look for the ones you're actually supposed to find.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Hmm. Anyway, I love that you're living in the basement of Scar. I
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
confused by that at first.
Still a work in progress, but it's coming along. It's coming
It's
along.
looking
Yeah.
great so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you rode the roller coaster yet?
I have not.
This is like
Okay.
in a.
Oh,
Yeah. There you go.
found you another one.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah. 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 That's a clever spot right there.
dang! You logged in at a
That-
great time.
That is actually hilarious how he's put it in the Minecraft.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what happens when I press this button?
So it's actually like an elytra launcher. So you're actually supposed to get off once you launch out of the river.
Do I need my wings on?
And then you can fly away. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, what was that sound? Because I heard it a moment ago, and
Oh, come with me, Xisuma. This is very exciting. Come up here. Come up here. We got some free stuff apparently. Oh, hang on.
free
I
stuff. I did see a sign
Yeah.
that said free stuff.
Yep.
Ah.
Right up here. Anytime Scar puts some stuff into the smelter, we get free stuff down here. Looks like we got a bunch of copper.
Oh,
Very good.
interesting. And that just popped down right now.
Yes, anytime it fills up, it's filling up. So I'll take this. I'll take out like a stack and put it back in.
Ah.
So anytime you do that, it
The
notifies
Skull's
you.
not online right now, so
Yeah, we're just continuing to get free stuff, even though Scar is not online. So
that's amazing.
that's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Wish me luck.
All right. Yep.
Not sure if I need it, but here we go.
You got this. You got this. You don't have to press forward or anything. Just.
Oh God!
Oh,
I'm being
well,
attacked
yeah,
by Trident guy.
that sometimes happens.
Yeah.
Safety
It's a trap.
is not guaranteed. There we go.
Oh, thank you, Cub. Take 2.
All right.
Nothing
there
went
he
wrong.
goes. Down he
Oh,
goes.
there's another drowned here. Oh wow.
Yeah, like I said, safety not guaranteed here, but. All right, then bail out.
Dang, that's super cool.
There
Oh,
you
and
go.
am I supposed to like fly at the peak of the minecart out of the water there?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, and it lands back on the track.
Yep. It lands back on the track and ends up back in the base.
Cool. Well, I'll be on my way then.
All right, Xisuma. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah,
Cheers, man.
best of luck with the Easter egg game.
Yep. You too.
So now we are in the Nether because the rest of the hermits now have their own bases, like away from the communal area. And here at Zed's Hole of Fame, I thought I could hear frogs ribbiting. It's it's actually just striders. And what kind of ritualistic madness is going on here? Upside down animals? And, oh, Zed, what are you up to? So, Zed's base feels kind of small. Maybe there's more up in that area. But in the spirit of me just not overthinking anything, I reckon I'm going to try and hide one behind one of these villages so I can... No. This one at the end here I might be able to. Aha, so the trapdoor is in this block here, and then coming all the way down to the end, there isn't one there. So the one spot I can hide it is here. And I tell you what, if you whizzed by, you might just not notice it's there. So next up, XP crafted, and let me tell you this, I got some plans for later in the season to build a base that goes underground. And if I needed convincing that this could be a really fun idea in 1.18, look what XP's doing here. This looks fascinating. And of all the bases we haven't had so much space to pick from, I think I might do the obvious thing and just try and find like a little unlit area somewhere or the back of one of these pillars and just hide an egg right there. So this might have been a really good shout because, I mean, I'm zooming in. Let's zoom in a little further. It's there somewhere. I can't even make out where it is, but it is somewhere on that pillar right there. And last but certainly not least, we have Stress Monster's base, which I did not realize was so close to the starting communal area. And look at that. That is a bold and beautiful entrance right there. But when we come to the inside, there's not a lot going on yet. There may be a couple of dark patches to hide something. But I noticed there was an iron farm out the front here. And so let's go silly with this very last one and plop it right there. And I've also now made it invisible and we are out of eggs. And that was a lot of fun, really. What a great excuse to get around the server, see people's bases, and you know what? I cannot wait for the next phase. It's going to be so cool to explore my own and find out where the other hermits hid their eggs. So much so that I've actually been thinking about all the places I would hide the eggs in my base myself. So I reckon we're going to do pretty good in this game, but Jevin has made a modification to one of the rules. So you are going to be able to break blocks as long as it's going to be visible. So if you put it behind glass, that's going to be A-OK. So I'm going to move this one over at Beef's back to where I originally wanted it. Well, that was going to happen eventually, right? Here's the thing. Look at that! Got a little mini me on top of my head now. So I think I'm going to have to get the sheep out of there for a moment just to put it in. And then put the sheep back in after. And there you go. We're all done over here. And I could possibly go back and redo a couple of others, but I think we are done with this for today. So things have been a little bit slow as of late with me going on vacation and putting a lot of time into the design of whatever this is going to be. So I think what I want to do next is some building, get our base a little further along and finish the tower that we got here today. As you can see, I've already started on the base. And the view of it is heavily distorted by the scaffolding, which I kind of want to leave there until it's finished because it's so helpful to help you build and climb up and down and place all these blocks. And if you're wondering why there is raw iron in there, well, it's because it's an iron farm, right? And this thing has been squeezed, it's been squozed into the middle of this build. Or better yet, the iron farm came first and then I built the exterior around it. But that's why I had to make this thing as small as it could possibly be, so it will just rest inside of this thing here. And what I mean by this thing here is, of course, the tower. And in order to finish building this thing, I think I just need to take a trip to the desert, get a bit more sandstone together, make sure I got all the materials, and then I think we'll do a time lapse, right? Yeah, we'll do that. So you'll start to hear some music right about now. That's how this works. Well, I guess you can't appreciate the full beauty of this build while the scaffolding is up there, but the dealio is this thing isn't quite finished yet. It technically doesn't have a roof. But you see, I do not have the materials required to fill this in, as it needs dark prismarine. That was the finishing touch on this tower, and I have no prismarine and I have no ink sacs, so I guess it will have to stay like this for now. Once again, you can see the iron farm is a very tight squeeze in here. There is already another part of this that is technically unfinished, and I think I already mentioned the reason for using the raw iron here. This, though, is a clock face, and the design is from Gem. When we had our Hermitcraft town meeting event, we designed a big building that had a clock in it, and I love how this was put together. So you've got the Wither Skull right there in the middle. I saved that from our last venture to the Nether. And then you got the end rods, and you can see that it's a clock face. But once again, scaffolding is in the way, and it really needs to come down. Now, I am a fussy Minecraft player, the sort that will try and pick up every single item that drops down. And sometimes that can be a little bit of a waste of a time because the bamboo is so easy to collect, right? So I think I'm just gonna, pick up whatever's down here at the bottom and leave the rest. and there is just like an absolute ton of this stuff. I forgot how many stacks I put into this. Alright, so with a portion of the scaffolding picked up, we can now appreciate the design a little bit more. And I slaved away for a long time putting this together, and I think it looks utterly gorgeous. And it also serves as an extension of what we got going on here at the entrance. The only thing I would say is that it's not aligned with the center, which might have been more satisfying. And because you see this thing mostly from the ground, you don't notice that the roof isn't actually finished. But my friends, you'll just have to wait and see what happens, because that is the end of another episode of Hermitcraft. I believe at the beginning I said that we'd be doing both parts of Jevin's Easter egg hunt, but you'll have to wait until the next one for me to explore my own base and hunt for all of those eggs. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.